And we are live. What's up, Knucklehead Nation? I'm back again, Adam Youngblood Araby, here with Ian Holloway, ready to take on Mariano Hernandez Corona in a flyweight title eliminator. How you feeling, Ian?
Amazing. Blessed for the opportunity, ready to go, in great shape, great mentally, and ready to put on for my team. We got three of us fighting on this card together. It's going to be a great show for Huntington Beach Fight Club.
Yeah, man. I feel like you guys are on the rise, man, because I really hadn't heard much about you guys. And then recently in these past few fighters reps and everything, I'm like, let me check out this gym. And I realized you guys got a good stable of killers over there.
Yeah, definitely. We're up and coming, but we've been here on the scene for a couple years now, and we're finally starting to get that recognition. We're finally starting to get on the bigger shows and continue to pave the way. We're gonna bring a title to Huntington Beach Fight Club, and then people are really gonna flock and understand what's going on in Huntington Beach. We're a different bunch, so get ready.
Yeah, man. I thought it was cool. I saw you guys out like you got to tell me a little bit more with these like shirts. It was like the Bad Boys of Huntington.
Yeah, the Huntington Beach Bad Boys were the new ones. Shout out Tito Ortiz, original name. He's a bad boy. So we coin flipped it, got me and Milshawn, we're the bad boys, and essentially all of us are bad boys, but we're up and comers and we're rowdy and we're making a change. We're a different mentality. We're not like all these other gyms or martial arts studios. We're a fight club. We're Huntington Beach.
Yeah, man. I thought it was cool because I grew up in Orange County. I'm a stone's throw away, in Laguna Niguel, Laguna Hills area. And Huntington Beach has always had, I feel like, a historic, like, just fight culture in general, by the fact that, you have a lot of surfing. And oddly enough, for people who don't know, who don't live near a beach town, there's actually a lot of fighting within surfing culture. And just like, it's a great area, but there's definitely a fight culture there. So how does it feel kind of carrying on that legacy and almost kind of making a new legacy almost for Huntington Beach?
Yeah, I think that's the goal, honestly, is to show that evolution. But it's like you said, that's where we're from. That's, Johnny. That's how we kind of grew up. A lot of us are from that. And so it's cool to be from living in the Orange County area and making a name for us and a different gym. We have history in Huntington Beach, but we're building our own history, new branch under, Mr. Mercurio. He's a great leader and a legend in Huntington Beach and a legend in the fight game out here. And now we're building our own legendary status. And like I said, we're coming to take the title as the best gym in Orange County. And I hope to lead that way.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. But we were discussing a little bit before, and I'll actually get in a little bit more about the actual sparring story because one of the ways of how this guy, how I know this guy is so good is we've actually shared a round together at an open sparring.
Yes,
And
sir.
but I
Sure.
could see, especially in your last fight, because that round made me so excited to watch you go against Trevor Blakesley, who's a guy from another tough gym under Cody Sessions. And that was like one of my actually favorite fights of the last Fighters Rep because you guys kept such a high pace and such a high volume, and you have a really fun style, especially utilizing the side kicks. And I believe you had mentioned you have a Taekwondo background.
Yeah, definitely. So, got the Taekwondo background, definitely where I started off. I like to say it's like my high school, and now I've gone to like college or, graduating level. And so this is where I'm at with my gym now. And Johnny, same background, same kind of story. And so he's able to give me his experiences, his faults, and having that background and giving me the differences, in Muay Thai, my clinch, adding a whole new game. My boxing has gone extremely way better. So, I have way more tools and my bag is so deep. I haven't even shown, I would say, like maybe I've shown 35% of my bag, 30% of the fighter I am. So I'm just here to show more of myself every time out. And like you said, that Blakesley fight was a banger and gave me a lot of confidence, man, to do something like that, 3 rounds versus a great gym like that and a great fighter like that, gave me the confidence to go even harder. And I really believe that I'm on a different level than these guys. And I'm ready to go on a run way, way better than the run I just went on. It's going to be more wins, more finishes for sure, less decisions, and more rounds in those fights. We're not doing 3 rounds anymore after this.
Yeah, man. One thing I really enjoyed about like just your style in general is the fact that you're very creative, and I can't even imagine you being more confident. Because to share a little bit of the backstory about that round, so I pull up to Blackbeard Kickboxing for the open sparring, because at the time I think it was leading up to New Year's, and my gym was kind of closed down for the holidays, and so I still wanted to get one more session in, right? So
Same.
I go with our fighter right here, Ian Holloway, right? And he's like, "Oh, I just want to do some boxing, you know." And I'm like, "All right, you know, I boxed when I was a kid and kickboxed a little bit." This guy then hits this like, and I remember seeing the same breakdown, luckily. So I was at least didn't get too caught off guard. So I got to keep my head that day. This guy hits a drop step where he fully crouches down, comes back up, trying to plant on his feet, and just swings for the fences. And I was so impressed by that. I was like, wow, that takes a lot of balls to get that creative and hit a move that you had never really tried before against basically me, who's a stranger. Like, and so when I heard you were fighting on the next FightersRep, I'm like, I got to check this kid out. If he's got the balls to do that, I want to see what he can do in the ring. And I was very thoroughly impressed with your last fight.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, Blakesley's a volume pressure fighter, and there's not a lot of guys like him, legitimate guys like him that are going to come forward and do that. And so for me to go against a guy like that and still be creative, keep my cool, keep my wits, not get hurt, and keep the pace up against a bigger guy, like I said, gave me that confidence. And you said something, I love being creative in there. This is martial arts. I'm definitely a fighter for sure, for sure. Definitely a fighter, definitely an athlete. Well, I'm a martial artist at heart, and I love to show my creativity, and I'm always doing something different. So if you think you know Ian Holloway, you probably don't. And be ready, because I'm always here to show something different and something new.
Yeah, and kind of expand a little bit more on that in that Taekwondo background. One thing I was really, really impressed by was your side kicks. You know, I haven't seen too much of that, specifically even just in the kickboxing rule set of FightersRep. And I thought you really utilized that super duper effectively. And I've even seen you a few times on clips on the pads where you're going from hitting a side kick to a spinning roundhouse kick. Kind of break me a little bit down of like what it was like kind of transitioning from that style to a newer style, but how you are able to utilize tools like that so effectively.
Yeah, so definitely in the kickboxing rule set, I get to use my kicks, and that's something I want to do more so. But like I said, Johnny's a genius. I also have another coach, Corey, genius, Law, genius. But these guys, they all think so different. Law more boxing, Johnny more, head coach, strength, everything, just overall genius. And Corey's thinking on that next level, those angles and all my other stuff. And so really working with them and coming in with that Taekwondo base, they're able to get me to keep my hands up, chin down. And I had that aggression, always going to be a come forward fighter. I don't want to, I'm never going to have a boring fight. Never, ever in my life will I ever have a boring fight. So that's one thing that's not going to happen. And so they're just giving me different outs, different routes to get my job across and get the mission done. And so that's what we're doing. And like I said, I love Taekwondo. It'll always be a part of me. But I love this Muay Thai, and I love what I'm doing now. So I want to create my own style. I don't want anyone to be able to remotely be able to copy me. So I'm going to keep throwing new things, keep adding new next level to my games and different outs. So like I said, when you think I'm doing one thing, I'm doing another, and it's game over.
Yeah, man, that's completely awesome. And I know you keep giving up Trevor Blakeslee about being a volume fighter, but the one thing I'm actually impressed by you is I'd say you got a lot of volume yourself, man. I haven't yet to see you get tired in a fight. So break it down, man. How'd you get that cardio? Is that just a genetic natural gift you have? Did you work really hard in that? Do you have just a crazy strength and conditioning routine? What's the secret behind that cardio?
I'm going to say it's all three of them. Definitely genetics. Always been cardio in all my sports, athlete. Whether I'm playing basketball, lacrosse, football, I'm running around being crazy. I'm just energetic in my daily life. That's just what I do. But Johnny, and one thing we harp on at Huntington Beach Fight Club, our strength and conditioning programs, and what we do is next level. One thing at Huntington Beach Fight Club, we are not going to get tired. You might be able to try to beat us down for 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 5 rounds, but we're going to be in there, and we're going to be dangerous for 5 rounds, 3 rounds, whatever it is. So that's just what it is at Huntington Beach Fight Club. Cardio, cardio, cardio. And I want to be a cardio machine. I want to be able to weaponize that against my opponents. And I'm down for anybody to try to make it a race. Like I love to get out there and gun. Like we can do that for sure. I think I got that in my bag as well.
Now, speaking of your opponent, Give me a little bit of a breakdown of how you see this fight going with Mariano Corona. I've seen both you guys fight, and both you guys are coming and willing, ready to bang. So give me a little bit of preview on this fight.
You just said it right there, willing and ready to bang. I don't think either one of us is going to back up. I think this is definitely going to end early. We're coming forward, and there's a title on the line. I'm not playing no more games. Like I said, I'm going to go on a run unlike anybody. I'm ready to be real, real different. I want to be the 1%. I want to show off. And I want to show what we're doing at Huntington Beach Fight Club, show that we're different there as well. So it's going to be a very high paced fight. We're both going to come forward, and it's going to be that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, what do you make of the fact that Mariano kind of comes from a more, I'd say, traditional Muay Thai background? What are some strengths and what are some negatives you kind of see out of your upcoming opponent?
Strengths. He's definitely a power puncher for sure. Definitely gonna have to watch out for those power punches. He's coming forward. He's bringing the intensity. Those are all things we're definitely gonna have to watch out for. But I just got through that with the guy who came down a weight class to fight me. Who's big, who's bigger than me. I'm used to that every day of my life. That's every fight I've been in is walk down, walk down, walk down. So I'm ready for that. I think it's going to be game fight, and it's going to be a weapons race for sure. And I got too many weapons, dog. I got too many weapons. And if I got to hit the nuke, I'll hit it. I'm coming different this fight. I believe it. I'm saying it, and I'm saying it with confidence because that's what I'm doing. There's no stutter in my words. And that's the truth. Honestly, I'm different, and I'm going to show that this fight for sure. I'm done showing lackluster or showing 50% of myself or 30% of myself. Johnny always says these are the opportunities to show what type of fighter you are. And I'm going to show that I'm one of the best fighters in California.
Awesome. Awesome. We were talking even a little bit before about that sparring day and how you've grown since then. And even now, how you've grown since your last fight. What are the major key ways that you've grown since that last fight, both as a fighter, but even just as a person that has helped you become a better fighter?
Yeah, definitely don't want to give up too much. I want to keep that in my bag. But I'll definitely say as a person, because I think that's the most important thing. And that's why I do this. I've grown so much as a person over these past 2 months. And I think that's the most important thing. And I think that's why I'm actually so confident. Been through a lot. I'm ready. I'm game. I'm ready for this fight. It's been a quick camp because I've been so locked in, and it's just been flying by. And I think that, my mentality and how I carry myself and what I believe in, my family, my faith and my gym, like I'll keep harping on my gym and my training partners as well. I have a different level of confidence, and I'm a different level of fighter. So have to continue to show that.
Now, coming back again to your opponent, and just the pressure of this fight, you did mention that this is a flyweight title eliminator. And by the fact, too, I believe Mariano accepted this fight, I want to say almost 2 weeks ago. Am I correct in that? How has it been kind of dealing with like an opponent change, kind of a little bit last minute?
I'm used to that. That's literally my life in the amateurs. Multiple dropouts, multiple canceled bouts, day of. This happens. This is the amateur. You got to stay game. You got to stay ready 24/7. And I want it. I want the beef. I don't care who it is. I do care that it is one of the best fighters in my division or in the divisions near me. That's something I do care about. I want to fight the best, and I want to be the best. So that's something I care about, and I think he is a good fighter. And he's proven that on the FightersRep stage. He's gotten knockdowns in there. And like I said, I think he's a come forward fighter, a good fighter. And, other guy got injured. Sucks for him. He doesn't have the opportunity to fight me. But the show goes on, and the show will continue to go on. And it's my show. I'm building this. I'm not going to let anybody take what I've been building. Like I said, the run I went on before was cool, but the run I'm about to go on is going to be some sort of race.
I love it. I love it, man. Like I can attest to this, man. I still remember when you came out to that last fight, you had one of the biggest showed out support crowds that I think that came out of everybody on the card, man. So explain to me a little bit, what it's like to kind of go in, just having those big crowds, having that pressure, having those, just embracing that moment. Take me through that a little bit.
Well, you said it there. It's embracing the moment. Some people would put it as pressure. This is the life I've lived for the past 23 years, and I'm only 23 years old. So this has been every fight I've ever been in all my lives. I can't think of a fight that I've been in that didn't have a crowd or didn't have a camera in my face or didn't have stakes in it. I'm always talking, so that's something I got to back up. And so I'm not worried about that. The pressure is cool because I like pressure, and pressure just keeps building my name and my legacy and my resume and gives me that confidence to believe who I am. I've done pressure fights. I've fought the day before my graduation or big events and had to come up with a win, fighting undefeated fighters, not knowing what's going to happen, fighting through whatever, right? It doesn't matter to me. This is not basketball. This isn't football. We're not going through a 7-game series. This isn't a playoff and you can come back next year. If I lose, I'm getting beat up, dog. Like, I'm not leaving the ring with blood on my nose. That's never, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. We're not getting into that. We can get into a firefight, but I'm not getting messed up. Not this face, not getting that messed up. And I want the beef. I want to fight and I want to prove that I'm the best. So for me, it's not pressure. It's being able to show who I am. So that's how I see it. It's a blank canvas, and every time I get to show out there.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you and your time. So that leads me into the final question, because I know you've been training, working hard for this camp, and you're almost in the final stretch of this weight cut. So I'm going to lead it into the final question here. If I could get a prediction for how this fight's going to go, and potentially any shout outs, any sponsors, anybody out there that you want to make.
Okay, for sure. Let's get the sponsors out the way. Shout out Always Ready Meals. Always helping me with every weight cut. One of my favorites. Shout out Red Belly Nutrition.
Love Alex.
Yeah, Alex is a great man. Love working with him. Shout out Red Belly Nutrition. And shout out Huntington Beach Fight Club. They've always had my back. I love Johnny. I love Kasha. I love all my coaches. And I love all my training partners. It's a true pleasure to be at that gym. And I'm thankful for FightersRep for giving me an opportunity to prove who I am and prove that I'm one of the best fighters in California and get this title in my next fight for sure. So that's that. And prediction is this fight is going to be a banger. I've never, ever had a boring fight. Check my fights out on YouTube. Go check on Instagram at Ian Holloway. You can see it. I'm never going to be a boring fight. We're coming hard. It's going to be a pressure fight 24/7. I'm going to be on him, and I'm coming for the finish. That's what I want. I'm working my ass off for it. I'm going to do it, and I'm coming out to fight like that. Obviously, we want to win regardless, but I'm coming for the finish, and I believe I'm going to do that. I truly believe I'm going to get this finish and separate myself from the other guys in this tournament.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. I don't even know how to barely promote this fight other than you're not going to want to miss this fight on April 22nd for FightersRep 18. Ian Holloway, the bad boy of Huntington Beach, taking on Mariano Hernandez Corona in a flyweight title eliminator. This is one you guys don't want to miss. Thank you again for your time, man, and I'll see you guys on April 22nd.
Have a good one, guys.